What's going on, Leaguers? Welcome to the Spectacular Spoiler League. I'm the Pan-Man Superman. I'm the mayor of Hype City, HazyRome. And as always, I'm joined by the Gotham Knight, the Prime Minister of Post-Production, DeepBoyce. And today, we're in the Hall of Spoilers to talk a little bit about Spider-Man coming to the PS4. Marvel's Spider-Man, developed by Insomniac Games. Yes, we talk about games on the Spectacular Spoiler League. And if you like us talking about games, let us know in the comments, and we would love to talk more about games because that is our thing. But anyway, we are talking top 10 villains we want to appear in Spider-Man coming to PS4. DeepBoyce, man, you want to start us off with the list?
Let's start off with number 10 on this list. Ya boy, the time-traveling conqueror, Kang the Conqueror.
Now, I hear the people out there, oh, that's not a Spider-Man villain. No, listen. We're just talking villains from Marvel Comics that we like and who would do battle with Spider-Man in a cool way if possible. That being said, there are some villains on here that, you know, you may be saying to yourself, well, why didn't you put this, I don't know, Avengers villain on here? We just like these villains in tandem with a potential Spider-Man storyline. And Kang the Conqueror, we have reasons for why we want him on the list, right, DeepBoyce?
Yes, sir. I mean, he's a time-traveling, I guess, ruler that kind of exists at different times and uses that to his advantage. I mean, obviously, he's number 10 on the list because in terms of narrative and story, it could get a little crazy. But this game looks dope, and maybe they decide to get a little crazy. Maybe there's a lot of time-traveling shenaniganery. Maybe not necessarily Spider-Man traveling through the future, but Kang bringing things in and out of time. Who knows?
That would be kind of hot.
Yeah.
I'd like it. We may even be able to see different versions of Spider-Man. I don't know why it took me 8 times to say that, but it did. We may even see different versions of Spider-Man. Miles Morales is confirmed in the game. What if you travel to the future, brought back a Miles Morales that was a full-fledged Spider-Man? I don't know. That'd be hot. Kang the Conqueror. We're going on to number 9.
Let's do it.
Venom at number 9. Eddie Brock, Venom at number 9. DeepBoyce hates Venom, so I'm gonna speak for Venom. I'm surprised he even made the list, y'all, because that's how much he hates Venom. I had to fight for this guy.
I just know we gotta put him on there because people are gonna ask. People are gonna say, "Where's Venom?"
He doesn't have to be the main villain. He just needs to be a villain, man.
Fair enough.
And let's be honest, Venom has a really cool look, and you know, maybe we defeat him and maybe we get the black suit back. I don't know. Maybe that's a way to unlock one of the costumes.
Maybe.
Because they're definitely going to feature costumes. This is a Spider-Man game.
Oh, yes.
So, Venom's a nice, brutish character that would go really well with Spider-Man. I mean, he hates Spider-Man. It's pretty much self-explanatory. DeepBoyce, hit it with number 8.
Number 8 is Modok. That's probably another one where people are wondering, what the heck? You know, what on earth is a Modok? For those of you that don't know, it's an acronym that stands for Mobile Organism Designed Only for Killing. Now, the thing is, it's not so much about Modok. It's more about what he brings to the table. He brings in money, futuristic tech, and possibly AIM, advanced idea mechanics. You know?
There you go.
And he's an interesting villain. He's a silly-looking villain, but he is an interesting villain nonetheless that, you know, is a wild card of sorts that they could just kind of throw a lot of interesting things left and right at Spidey.
He definitely doesn't look like he's designed only for killing. That's ridiculous. I mean, he doesn't even look like he choked somebody out with them little ass arms. It makes no sense. I mean, if he headbutted you, it'd be a wrap.
Yeah, maybe he chokes you out with his stink ass breath.
Maybe because he got a big ass mouth. I don't know. But I mean, what better villains than AIM for Spider-Man to fight? Because if you got a video game, you got to have multiple characters you can just throw at the player character in order for them to fight. And AIM is just that. You know what I mean? And they got advanced weaponry because they're, you know, scientific based. So, you know, they got some cool things that they could be doing to fight against Spider-Man. Keep the game entertaining, man. We're on to number 7, and we've got Mysterio. Mysterio, man. I mean, I just feel like Mysterio is cool with the optical illusions, and I feel like that can kind of be a little trippy if you're playing a video game and there's some optical illusions, especially in particular with Spider-Man, because Spider-Man, you know, he's very agile. He can be like, you know, hanging off of walls and then, you know, hanging on ceilings and stuff like that. Imagine you got a guy like Mysterio who's kind of like manipulating the environment around him in order to make him think things are different than how he would normally see it or how we would normally see it as the player.
Totally agree. And on the Mysterio is one of the better things of the PlayStation 2 Spider-Man 2 game that was a tie into the movie way back in the day.
Yes, indeed, man. Indeed. But anyway, number 6, DeepBoyce, what we got?
We got your boy Taskmaster. A dope Marvel villain that honestly I feel should even be in the movies. He's so dope. Or in a Netflix show or in something. But Taskmaster is... He's just he's a bounty hunter. He is proficient in any and all forms of martial arts and combat. He comes out there with pistols and swords and all sorts of crazy stuff. And he's got a badass skull mask. But you can redesign him if you want. I mean, sometimes, you know, you just throw someone that's a formidable hand-to-hand threat to Spider-Man.
Definitely, man. He's definitely crazy proficient in combat. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, isn't his ability able to read anybody's combat and mimic it? Can he do that?
Yes, he can.
So that's the key thing about Taskmaster that makes him so nuts. He could just kind of like see somebody's form of combat and not only just take their combat or mimic it. I'm pretty sure he can also see the weaknesses in that person's combat, which is dangerous for a guy like Spider-Man, man.
Yes,
but anyway, we're on to number 5. We've got Madam Hydra. Another unexpected one right there.
Yep.
But once again, cannon fodder and also someone who's going to be super manipulative, somebody who could be pulling the strings with what's going on in New York City and, you know, making Spider-Man's life just a little bit harder, man.
Yes, sir. Totally agree with that one. I mean, you need someone that's kind of outside the purview of just a super strong person. You need someone that can pull strings and cause havoc in a way that Spider-Man can't really solve.
Yeah, and the reason why, you know, we want to see some Madam Hydra in there is because, you know, Hydra's mantra, man. We cut one head off, 2 more grows in its place. Hail Hydra.
Hail.
Number 4, DeepBoyce. I'm going to let you take this one, man, because this is your man right here. You love this guy.
You got one of my favorite superhero comic book characters ever. Victor Von Doom, also known as Dr. Doom. Now, this guy is crazy powerful. Now, you know, of course you could, you know, bend the rules and have him go one-on-one against the Great One, a.k.a. the Spider-Man. But Dr. Doom kind of just checks everything off in terms of all the bullet points that you would want out of a villain. Super smart.
Right.
He's got money, mystical powers.
He's devious.
He's devious. He's got a whole nation behind him. He's got either henchmen or doom bots. I mean, he could do it all. He could do it all, and
Definitely.
and it allows for flexibility with your storytelling. And obviously,
For sure.
you know, when it comes to Spider-Man, you always want to have more than one villain. And this is going to be a video game, so just throw as many villains as you possibly can that fit within the story. So, you know, Madam Hydra, Dr. Doom, King the Conqueror, everybody all working together to destroy New York. And Spider-Man has got to swing his way from villain to villain. And I mean, come on. Dr. Doom is super dope.
I like it. Number 3, we got another doctor. We got Dr. Octopus, man.
Yeah.
Doc Ock is, once again, another super ingenious person to challenge the brain power of Peter Parker. Plus, you know, he's physically a match for Peter Parker with his, you know, octopus arms. And then you have the fact that he's super conniving. And Doc Ock is somebody who can, once again, similar to Dr. Doom, similar to Madam Hydra, can be pulling the strings, can be manipulating, you know, fellow villains and kind of leading the charge, you know, i.e. leading the Sinister Six or something like that to, you know, make Spider-Man's life a living hell.
Yeah, and he's always up to scientific shenanigans, so that's also an
Definitely.
angle that is very popular with Spider-Man when it comes to cybernetics and, you know, advancements in biology and gene therapy and gene manipulation and all that kind of stuff. That's right up
sure.
Dr. Octopus's alley, so to speak. And, you know, you can even get a little personal because him and Aunt May had a thing at one point. You know, maybe you want to...
Oh, my God.
Maybe
I don't even want to get into that.
Maybe you want to throw that into the mix. Who knows?
Doc Ock, man, you got to chill, man. You crossing the line right there. That's the Aunt May. That's my sugar honey iced tea, man. You don't be messing with that.
I mean,
come on now.
If we're up to date, Aunt May is Marissa Tomei. Can't hate.
True that.
Can't hate.
Doc Ock, you the man, brother. Doc Ock, that's my man right there. I told you about Doc Ock, man. Damn, Marissa Tomei. Man, that's a beautiful woman right there. Peter, watch out there now. I'm coming. Number 2, we've got Carnage, man. DeepBoyce, man. Tell us a little bit about Carnage, man. Why he would make a good villain? Because I feel like it's a little bit dark, you know, the route you could go if you went with Carnage. But let's be honest, Carnage is a very underused villain.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, not only do you have the symbiote Carnage, but you have him there mixed with Cletus Cassidy, a homicidal maniac, a recent escapee from prison, someone that is a random element, you know, similar to the Joker. You know, obviously not exactly like the Joker, but someone that just does things not for the gain of money, not just because he wants power, but he just loves killing and hurting people. And just to throw him out there and to make him some sort of deadly threat. And I mean, he's you know, Carnage is even more powerful than Venom. And obviously he looks really cool as well. So, you know, one of the things that when we mentioned Carnage, as we were talking about this earlier, it brought me back to one of my favorite video games from back in the day, and that was a Spider-Man video game on the PS1, where Carnage is a prominent villain in that game.
Yeah, definitely.
So Carnage always gets a cosign from me.
Indeed, yo, I co-sign that too. We co-sign the #1 pick, and if you're a Spider-Man fan, you know who this #1 pick is. DeepBoyce, man. Lay it to him, man. Give it to him.
It is the red-haired evildoer himself. With the waves. You notice your boy has waves?
Yo, I used to wonder, like, yo, does Norman Osborn wear a do-rag? My man got the waves on the waves, man.
But we're talking about none other than Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, possibly Spider-Man's greatest foe, his #1 bad guy.
He got more waves than a tsunami, man. My man Norman Osborn, man. And Green Goblin.
And they ain't just any waves. Those are some fresh waves. Props to Norman Osborn.
Those are fresh, man.
Props
to Norman Osborn, man. But why should he be #1? Why is he a #1, man?
I mean, where do we start? I mean, he is the head of Oscorp. Sometimes an employer of Peter Parker, or someone that is, you know, a company that's an evil threat, whether in New York City or throughout the world, always manipulating, making metahumans or mutates, or just, I don't know, poisoning the water supply or anything crazy like that. You can come up with any number of things that this evil corporation that seemingly has just endless funds. I mean, I don't think Oscorp has ever gone bankrupt. This guy has way too much money and way too much time on his hands.
For sure.
But he, you know, maybe you could present a situation where he already knows Peter Parker. And he's attacking those that he loves. Or we could just go from Green Goblin being a menace to discovering who he is to threatening Peter Parker's loved ones, which is one of like those classic Spider-Man stories. And
for sure,
I mean, honestly, from what we saw coming out of E3 with the Spider-Man game, looks amazing. And just, it would be awesome having swinging sequences where you're chasing after Norman Osborn through all the skyscrapers in New York. You know,
on his glider.
Yeah, on his glider. You fly past the Freedom Tower, maybe Avengers Tower. Wink, wink.
Oh yeah.
You know, maybe you fly. You know, you swing by the Flatiron Building. I mean, there's a lot of monuments here in New York. A lot of beautiful buildings. A lot of awesome scenery. I wonder, even if we get to travel some of the other boroughs too. I mean, you could definitely. I'm getting off topic, but Norman Osborn, an amazing Spider-Man villain.
Indeed. And there's already been 2 Spider-Man villains confirmed by the gameplay that we saw of the Spider-Man game coming to PS4, and that's Kingpin, who's referenced in the game, and Mr. Negative as well. So I don't know how much Kingpin's going to appear, but they definitely said that. I'm pretty sure they said that I went from definitely pretty sure. They said that the henchmen that he was fighting in the demo were Kingpin's men, if I'm not mistaken, or that they were working with Kingpin. Or they said something about Kingpin where he was definitely referenced in the game. So I feel like he will appear in the game in some capacity. But anyway, guys, let us know what you think about our top 10 villains that we want to see. We want to see. Not you. We. So don't get mad at the list. Okay? That we want to see in the Spider-Man game coming to PS4. Let us know if you liked our choices. Let us know if you would have made any changes to your decision. And by all means, why don't you drop your own list in the comments of top 10 or top 5, and, you know, we'll comment and talk with you about it. Anyway, man, we're getting out of Hall of Spoilers. We're swinging out of the Hall of Spoilers. We'll see you guys on the next one. DeepBoyce, man, any final words?
Hey, man, thanks to all you guys for the love and the support. for supporting
True.
a friendly neighborhood spectacular spoiler league.
I like it. We getting on out of here, guys.
Peace.